Welcome to the October newsletter. This newsletter is all about inspiration and some killer chords in action. Now, if you'd like to get a hold of the PDF for this particular newsletter, you can just go to budurl.com/getpdf3. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'll play the piece for you that I covered in this particular newsletter so that you can see what it looks like and hear what it sounds like. After I've played it, I will break it down for you step by step. Right, here we go. Okay, so there you have it. It's a really nice little piece. I hope you enjoy it. I really like these chords and there's so much you can do with them. It just sparks so many ideas. You can use it with finger picking, with strumming, or whatever the case may be. So let's have a look at the basics of notation, because as you'll see in the PDF that accompanies this lesson, I've actually added the notation as well for you. So let me just show you what all these different signs mean. Right over here on the left hand side, we've got what's known as the treble clef, and that's for instruments like the guitar, the violin, the right hand of the piano. Alright, so all those type of instruments are written down in the treble clef. And then right over here we've got the key signature. So those four sharps, they just basically tell me that this particular example is written in the key of E major. Alright, right next to that I've got my time signature, and that just means 4/4, which also is referred to as common time. Alright, so that just means we have 4 quarter notes for every bar. Okay, so most songs here, if you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, those songs are written in common time, also referred to as 4/4. So after that, we've got all the chord shapes above the example here, right, which I've added those in for you so you can actually have a look at how to play these particular chords. Now, of course, you can also look at the tab if you'd like to find out how to play those chords. So depending on which way you like to learn the guitar, you can use actually 3 ways for you to check it out. See how I played it, or you can look at these chord diagrams, or you can just follow the tab. Now, all these notes over here on the actual treble clef in that staff over there, those are the actual notes that I'm playing, but you don't really need to read these notes because you can just use the tab if you want. The only reason these rhythms or these notes have been included is actually to indicate the rhythm that's being played over here. So as you can see, it's all 16th notes, so the rhythm they will all be exactly played in exactly the same rhythm, so there's nothing too difficult over there. Now over here we've got the right hand fingerings, or if you're a left handed guitarist, then that's going to be your left hand fingering, but let's rather call it the picking hand. Okay, then that's a little bit more universal. So it's a very simple picking pattern, P-I-M-A-P-A-M-I, right, and that just repeats over and over, P-I-M-A-P-A-M-I. Alright, and this just means that you just keep repeating that same pattern throughout. And then over here we see the words written down, let ring throughout. That just means that whenever you play these chords, try and let the notes ring through each other. Alright, so you don't just play the notes on their own. You'll have to kind of make sure that they ring over each other. So let me play it for you without making these notes ring. So if I only play each note once without letting it ring, just have a listen to what that sounds like. And here it is where I let the notes kind of ring into each other. Alright, so as you can hear, it sounds a lot better when the notes ring into each other like that. Now, the only thing I didn't mention, and that's going to be the last thing to mention before we'll actually go through these chords, is if you look at this picking pattern, the P, of course, stands for, that's your thumb, and the I is index, M is middle, and the A is the ring finger. But now the thumb will be playing the root of each chord, and the root of its chord in this particular example also happens to be the lowest note of each chord as well. So if I'm playing an E add 9 like this, then you can see that the root note is actually on the 6th string, and that's why the thumb is playing the 6th string over there. And it's the same for the F sharp minor 11th. The root note is played on the 6th string. But if you look at A add 9 or B sus4 for instance, then you will see that I have to move my thumb down to the A string. That's the only thing that moves. The other three fingers, index, middle and ring, they keep playing exactly the same strings. So there's only two things that you need to do. Well, let's say three things is, first of all, your thumb needs to move, you know, according to wherever the roots are. The second thing is you'll just need to be changing the chords. And the third thing is just play the actual finger picking pattern. Alright, so let's have a look at the actual chords. Chord number 1 is E add 9. Chord number 2 is F sharp minor 11th. Then we go over to A add 9. And then we have B sus4. That'll take us into the next bar, where we have C sharp minor 7th, which is the same shape as the B sus4. It's just moved up from the 2nd fret to the 4th fret. Then we'll have E5, which is exactly again the same shape, just moved up to the 7th fret. And after that, we've got this lovely voicing of an A add 9. Then that'll take us into the next bar, where we'll be playing B sus4 over A. And then the next chord, A add 9, just a different voicing for A add 9. And that takes us into the last bar, which is B sus4 over A again. Once again, it's a slightly different voicing. And then we have just a straightforward E major voicing on the 12th fret. Now, as you'll see, we've got these signs over here. Also known as a bird's eye, and the proper term for those would be a fermata sign, which just means that you need to hold those notes for a bit. So you'll see in the example, as I'm going to play it again for you now, that when I get to this section over here, I first let those notes ring a little bit, so I almost like pause for a second while the notes are ringing, and then I play these last 4 notes that actually ends this pattern. Alright, so let me play it for you one more time, and this time I'll show it to you with the actual tab. Okay, so if you have any questions, please let me know. You can get in touch with me on the Facebook page, which is very easy to remember. It's facebook.com/acoustic guitar lessons. That's it for this particular newsletter, and I'll see you next month. In the meantime, you can go to the Facebook page, which is facebook.com/acoustic guitar lessons. Every week I publish finger picking Fridays and strumming Saturdays on the Facebook page there. So if you go and like the Facebook page, then you will get updates of all the new lessons that I post on the page over there. Then I also have a range of ebooks, which you can go and check out at acousticguitarlessons.co/ebooks. All the finger picking patterns that I actually show in the finger picking Fridays, as well as the finger picking pattern we looked at in this month's example, can be found in the finger picking ebook. Then I have strumming patterns ebook as well. There's a killer chords ebook that contain all these particular chords from today's lesson, as well as a load of other cool killer chords. There's a chord guide, guitar scale guide, and lastly there's a Forte Music guitar course ebook, over 200 pages and 472 audio tracks that is filled with loads of lessons just to take your playing to the next level. Okay, there you go. I hope you enjoyed the newsletter, and I will see you in November for the next issue. In the meantime, I'll see you on the Facebook page. Until then, take it easy.